Oh, no.
Woo! Back out here on the Ducati. Look at this thing. Look at this gloomy day. This is what we got to deal with. Dude, I have been back from Austin for a little over a month, and I've rode this bike all of 0 times. And it's like, what the? Look at this shoe in the road. A shoe! Can we boot it? Bam! I mean, I had to go to the Mojave Desert. I had that whole thing going on. That took up time. Getting the bike ready for that took up time. Oh man, it's been so much stuff. And then I get back, and then the kids got COVID under my watch. Of course they did. I don't have any symptoms of it, but you know, they literally have been like in my face. Like it's probably at least like on me, you know. We can do that. It's got a lot of power. Like I'm like, oh, it's not a good gap. Yes, it is. It's got like I don't even have to like get on the power hard. Like I can just. If I do it, it's not an issue. Woo! Thank you to Ducati USA for still letting me keep this thing for a little longer than we talked about. Wild circumstances have kept me from not really being able to get out to ride this thing like I thought I was going to be able to. Look where I've taken this thing. Holy shit. This road's terrible. It's like it's maintained by the government or something. Oh, the lake shot. Me looking at the lake. Ducati on a gravel road, it's gonna break. Oh, is it? People have a lot of strong opinions. Is the thing broken yet? Yeah, it actually is broken 20 times. Every time I've ridden it, it's actually been broken. I was thinking about like, what do y'all want to talk about as I ride this thing around? What interesting Ducati-ish topics do you want me to talk about? You know, you want me to review it? You want me to talk about its elegance and handling? Fuck that. Let's talk about if it's reliable or not, because I think that's the real thing. That's what people probably really want to know when they're talking about one of these. Like, I think most people get, right? When you look at this Ducati, compare it to like, it's like an equivalent Japanese bike. I was thinking like maybe like an FZ09 or something, right? They're both 900s. I think most people would get that the extra cost does have like a value as the bike itself is concerned. Like the suspension is top notch on this thing, Brembo brakes, Brembo hydraulic clutch. There's a number of reasons why this is like it's a little more, you know, a little more higher in there. It's just my honest opinion. This bike it's good. So reliability, right? And that was something I literally hit them up hard on. I was like, what is up with that? Like, is it good or not? And we had like a pretty good conversation with them. I was hitting them back, man, and you know, there was a lot of things I didn't realize. Like, I guess in the last few years, there's been a lot of, like, maintenance things that have been improved. What was the Desmo system before? Wasn't it, like, 6,000 miles or something ridiculous? But, like, on this one, that's not the case. This has basically, like, normal valve train intervals. There's been a bunch of stuff done in the last few years with electronics. Sounds like there's basically been a lot of gears turning behind the scenes. What's caused that, you know? Like, I'm trying to get them to be like, oh, it was a whatever issue. Dude, what happened was, I guess a few years ago, Audi bought like a majority, I believe like a majority stake or a very large stake in Ducati. In other words, Volkswagen has got a lot of ownership in this brand now. And if you don't understand why that's important, let me remind you of another Italian vehicle that used to maybe have a reputation that doesn't have anymore, Lamborghini. We all know Lambos now. They still have the beautiful Italian styling. They're just gorgeous vehicles. They got German engineering underneath the hood now. And I was like, dude, that's awesome if that's what's happening with Ducati. Like, that's a big deal. And I was like, you guys should advertise that. I was like, you should literally be like, yep, we're now engineered by the Germans. You know? I mean, he said they even like really, he was talking about electronics. They went through a whole bunch of development process with the manufacturing process with the parts supplies. So why don't they advertise that, right? Like that'd be a really big deal. That'd be something awesome to know. And then the reason why is really simple. It's tricky as a brand because if you say, hey, don't worry, we got this done now. It's like, don't worry, we're no longer mainlining Coke.
I just wanted to say to everyone out there, I'm no longer mainlining acid or smoking PCP. It's official.
If you say that, if you acknowledge that, then you're also kind of acknowledging that there's some issues with some previous models, and that's a hard thing to do as a brand. I kind of get where they're coming from with that. So, but I can tell you, and I think that's really cool to know. Like, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that the Desmo system didn't have a stupid, crazy service interval anymore. In fact, I can look on here. I know my camera's like half blocking the dash here, but we should still be able to see it enough. I go here to the menu. Oil changes every 7,250. Desmo is just under 16,000. I mean, that's like basically normal whatever things. And there's an annual one. Oh, that's why it's on right now. The annual one. Look at it here. It's got all the right numbers. It's got all the right things. It's got a nice 180 tire on the rear. It's pretty light, easy handling little machine. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're perfect. I don't know. I don't actually own this bike. I've ridden it around all of Austin, ridden it back up here, and I've been riding 700-800 miles on it. It's got 2,700 miles on it, and it is a media bike, so I doubt it's had a very easy go at life, if you know what I mean. You can hear that Desmo though in it. You hear it? That's how they sound. No valve springs in there, if you know how that works. But they actually do have that V4, which does have just normal shimmed valves with springs, and that has like crazy high interval. The funny thing with that one is you can still get, it's in the Street Fighter, I know, and you can get it with a dry clutch. Like, I think it's like an upgrade or something or whatever. Or some versions I think just come with it. The Ducati guys were telling me that the dry clutch is so cool, people love it. With the service intervals that these bikes have now, they're like, yeah, you'll wear the clutch out before it needs an oil change. I guess that's the other thing too. You gotta think like Ducati lost its flair of coolness with like not having dry clutches and open belts, and I feel like our motorcycles have a little character in them. Does it still have character? Did we lose its soul when we took the dry clutch away and the old 2-valve motor? I don't know. It's got a pretty rompy little motor. That's the main thing I like. Oh, it'd be nice if I had an exhaust on it. Hello, Sheriff. He's probably like, look at that red crotch rocket. We'll do the speed limit.
Limit.
Which I do have to like actively think about with this bike. It's, you know what it is? It's because it's quiet. Yeah, look at them downshifts there. We can't say this for sure, right? Because it's like, I don't know, but let's say hypothetically, parts are just as available for this thing as like the MT-09. Reliability is the same as the MT-09, right? Hell, that might be. That's one of those things that takes time. We go buy this real quick and keep it for a couple years and I'll get back to you. But assuming they're the same, and then keeping in mind that this is like basically a better MT-09. I mean, that's an opinion, but I mean, like, it's just better equipped, same kind of power, same kind of torque, but not the weird harshness that the 09 engine is. So still follow me? What would stop you? We'll do like a hard sell. What would stop you from buying this bike today? You're the buyer who's going to buy the MT-09 and mod it out, put a couple thousand into like things like suspension brakes. You're going to put some high dollar stuff in it. What makes you buy that instead of buying this? Because I'm curious. Like I said, I'm enjoying it. It's a great bike. Like, for instance, what would I do it? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to think about it pretty hard. I've basically stuck into Japanese bikes for a reason, but so the Germans have worked their magic on this thing. If it's good, it feels good, it's very nice to ride, would you do it? Yeah, it's just a thought experiment. I'm really just curious. It's got a lot of power. A lot of auto shifters really require you to be like, you know, kind of on it for them to work properly. This one seems to be very cool with just being casually used. It's pretty cool with it. The turning radius, really sharp on this bike. So I've become Jake the Ducati snake, just ripping Ducatis everywhere now. Oh no, a stop sign. I'll have to aggressively use my blipper. Road closed. Well, supermoto, right? I'm on a naked bike. I can do whatever I want. Hi, puppy dog. Oh, good to God you're on a leash. If I were to get another Ducati from them, if they just happen to feel like doing this again, what y'all want to see me on? Is there a particular one? You know, a longer extended version of this video can be found over on Patreon. It's ad-free, censor-free, and it can be viewed as well as the entire library for just $1 a month. If you do get it there, please link your Discord and your Patreon so you can come in there and chat with us. We are a very silly group. You just know when you join, we're in the voice chats. I'm sorry. We're very... Everyone's gonna be like, hey, new guy, and just be really bizarre. My best advice is just to re-hit them with the same energy. Just go for it. Full rip. So moseying on down this country road with a Chevrolet Silverado in front of me. That's not very Ducati. Just a beautiful Italian machine and me having a good time. Having a good time. Blah, 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 blah. I think I'll get me an old Instagram picture. Hope y'all enjoy the video. See you on the next one. Is this one still on? You are off. You were bound to die at some point. Your dead battery not be in vain. I'll make some footage. It'll be insane.